Now, last week, I was praising Peter Dutton because he was standing up to some of the people in the media, pointing out ABC bias while he was in the middle of ABC interviews. But having a listen to this ABC radio host getting up him about it.
It's not a bit Trumpy sort of doing the whole attacking the media thing?
Is it, well, I thought you'd say it's hawky. But, I mean, is it hawky or Keating? Does that make it okay? I think John Howard's had good exchanges with journos in the past. I think Kevin Rudd did. I remember some famous language from Kevin Rudd. So,
well, that leaked, but still.
Well, I don't know by whom, but it did leak. But the fact is that he said it. So, look, I think there's a robust discussion to have, and I believe very strongly in our country. I want to make sure that our national broadcaster is objective, and I don't think it always is.
Oh, look, again, Sophie, you know, Rafael Epstein saying it's Trumpian to criticise the media, and Peter Dutton was on point yet again. How come the ABC doesn't mind when it's Labor criticising the media? It's only when the coalition dare to do it.
Well, it's interesting with this exchange on Rafael Epstein in Melbourne, Chris, because I think it shows Peter Dutton is going for the combative approach. He's not going to pull his punches. He's going to speak his mind. He's called out the ABC twice last week, claiming that they have bias. The problem here, though, as we've discussed many times, Chris, it always seems the bias falls to the left, never to the right. Now, I don't think the broadcasters should have a left or right position. They need to be neutral. And we just see time and time, Chris, as we've discussed over the years, this just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's a shocker. And Rafael Epstein is just another one of those who just keeps with the ABC groupthink, and they're all defensive. Instead of getting things right at the ABC, they attack their critics endlessly. I've got to go to this story, one of your stories in the paper today, Sophie. This just astounded me. You caught up with this bloke. His name is Brian West, and he is a full-time reporter on Taylor Swift. Let's hear from him directly for a moment.
So I work for USA Today, which was one of the big newspapers, and the Gannett Corporation, which has 200 newspapers in America. But it's just like being, you know, a beat writer for a sports team. You have contacts that might be with a sports team, but you're in no way in bed with them. So it's building an entire beat, completely independent.
It's an amazing round, isn't it, Sophie? Presumably he's just been to Japan where she's been playing concerts. He didn't get to do the quick trip back to the Super Bowl, but he'll be covering everything that happens here in Australia.
Oh, this was so much fun doing this interview, Chris. Brian West has the dream job of a lot of people around the world because Taylor Swift is the hottest topic in town at the moment. She's not even here yet, and she's been making headlines for weeks. But he just left Tokyo. He's arrived in Melbourne. He travels around the world reporting on everything Taylor Swift. He got the dream job, and I think there'll be a lot of people in the media and in the music fan world that'll be incredibly jealous of Brian's role.
Yeah, they sure will be. Great story. Thanks for joining us, Sophie. We'll catch you next week.